My name's Dudit, set up builds and stuff. I'm going to say it quite early in the video. Look at the state of that. That is a joke. You can literally sponge everything with this build. Getting 50% DR from ×8 Frost Armor, and we're going to be able to heal on tap with this build as well. It's an absolute joke. In these situations, you would normally be dead. This build puts out some really nice damage, but the main thing with this build is how much you can tank. This situation is not normal. This isn't normal, guys. You can't stand there and tank these wyverns. And the warden that you just saw. Icefall Mantle, we're going to be featuring them. We're also going to be featuring the 2-piece Sage Protector from the dungeon, so you can keep refreshing your Frost Armor with your class ability. And like I said, you would die in these situations normally, but you can stand there and go toe-to-toe with the tankiest enemies in the game and win. Glorious Behemoths, the big bad boys in the tier 4 version of the dungeon, not a problem. You can stand there and go toe-to-toe with these bad boys. Now, don't get mixed up, but it's still going to be able to put out loads of damage and healing as well with the Praxic blade. I had to modify the build a little bit. We put some healing on there from the energy conduit and the balanced form. And we're going to have an infinite amount of kinetic surges for our blade as well, for our Praxic blade. You'll see there I've got like ×2, ×3 armor charges all the time. A couple of kinetic surges, so we can put out loads of damage as well. So loads of damage, infinite healing, infinite tankiness. If this build interests you, stay with me, I'll break it down. We'll start off with the Icefall Mantle. While you have a Stasis super equipped, Rapid Stasis Final Blows grant Frost Armor. So you get Frost Armor just by getting Rapid Stasis Final Blows. You heal a small amount whenever you gain Frost Armor. So you got a bit of healing on there. It replaces your class ability with a burst of stasis energy that freezes nearby combatants and slows nearby combatants and grants you Frost Armor. And obviously you get healing from that Frost Armor, because it does state when you get Frost Armor, you do get healing. So you get plenty of healing with this. Now pair this up with your 2-piece Sage Protector, because what you want to be doing is really trying to get your class ability back as quick as possible. Now the 2-piece works perfectly. Sword hits return grenade. And class energy, it also says bonus energy is granted if blade focus is active. That's 4-piece, but you don't need it. Just run the 2-piece, and you're going to be infinitely able to loop your Icefall class ability to keep refreshing that Frost Armor over and over. I just want to show you it in the shooting range first, so you can sort of see what's happening. I'm going to get my Frost Armor by using my class ability. Now watch my class ability come back here. I've got it back already, and there you go, refreshing my Frost Armor. You also get healing on that, don't forget, and you're going to be freezing everything around you. So you can literally just keep refreshing your barricade or your stasis barricade via Icefall Mantle. ×8 Frost Armor, plenty of healing on tap. Oh, the aspects that really make this work for me, Tectonic Harvest, shattering a stasis crystal or a frozen target creates a stasis shard. You're going to pick that up, that's going to refresh your Frost Armor as well. So you're going to keep refreshing your Frost Armor by shattering stasis crystals. Another one that I really like to run with this one is a Diamond Lance. Shattering or defeating targets with stasis abilities or weapons creates a stasis lance. You can throw that or you can smash it into the ground. This is just excellent for slowing things down. If you've got someone running at you, throw that, and then you can obviously shatter that as well to get more Frost Armor. So like I said, you do get some nice healing from picking up Frost Armor with the Icefall Mantle, but the Praxic blade, the balanced form, will also give you healing and ammo if you run the balanced form, if you get a rapid couple of kills. The energy conduit also gives you healing. It grants health regeneration based on the number of targets hit by your thrown sword. So you've got a couple of ways there to add to your healing, which is quite important. And then the gyro core, because we're going to be throwing our sword, we're going to be slowing targets, and two throw attacks will freeze a target as well. You could also run the impact core, but for me, I want to be up close anyway, and I'm going to be freezing with my Icefall Mantle, so the gyro core makes more sense to me, but you can change that out if you wish. I would much rather throw and slow before I get in there with my Icefall Mantle. Now, you can see there, I've got loads of healing, loads of different ways of healing, whether you get a kill, throw it, or it's from your Icefall Mantle. Full health, ×8 Frost Armor. You'll also know I've got loads and loads of armor charges. I'm going to show you that working later on. For now, I just want to get into the video. Combination Argent Blade, Really helps with your damage as well. And then the other seasonal artifact perk is the Swordstorm combo. You're going to surround yourself with penumbral blades. This does help a little bit with your Sage armor, so the hits will help the Sage armor, but it's not absolutely massive. It helps a tiny little bit. I've tested it with and without. So I'm going to show you it working now, just sort of clearing some ads first. Again, most of these enemies in this Lawless Frontier are pretty high level. There's a couple of clips in here where right at the end, when I go to -50 at the extractions, don't forget. So they are quite tanky. My healing is what I wanted to show you. Now, bearing in mind the Lawless Frontier is reduced healing. I'm literally running around with full health all of the time, just for normal ad situations. A gear set to pair with the Sage armor is Praxic. This will give you increased kinetic damage to shields, over shields, vehicles, and constructs. In my opinion, I wouldn't run any other gear set other than Praxic. The only one I would consider running was Bushido. Could get that bit of healing, or the Iron Banner set or something like that, just to get that bit of extra healing, simply because you don't need any more DR. You don't need Smoke Jumper or anything like that. So something like Bushido would be perfect, or the Iron Banner gear set, just for that extra healing. And you can sort of see here, again, full health, Frost Armor looping and looping. But the main thing with this build, what I found incredible, was how much you can tank. So if you've got like a big target, like these big tanky wyverns, you can literally go toe to toe with these and win every single time. Not only can you win, you can like dominate these very, very easily. I'm studying all that void schmuck on the floor, which normally would damage you, but not when you've got that ×8 frost armor going. You can literally just tank everything with this build. It's an absolute disgrace. Really, really strong. And then again, these situations are not normal. You shouldn't survive these situations. I've done it myself, where you're like hanging on for your life, losing loads of health. And this guy here, he's incredibly tanky, and he's doing his flamethrower attack at you. Your health is going down a little bit here, because obviously you've got loads going on. But you can literally stand there and go toe to toe again. And all that little bit of healing, with the reduced healing from Lawless Frontier, will keep you plenty tanky. And like I said, you've won again. You've beat the tanky target very, very easily. And you've also got your Behemoth Super, which helps clear as well. I'm going to show you my stats on my build as we go. Great. Like I said, the main thing with this build is just dealing with tanky targets. Your teammates can say to you, right, Dunnits has got that tanky target, or you've got this tanky target, go deal with it, and you can do it. I'm going to go show you the Fragments, Whisper of Fishes. It's going to improve your shatter effects, which is really good for your Glacier Grenade, your Super, and your shattering effects. Whisper of Conduction to make my Stasis shards track to your position. Bear that one in mind, for I'm going to show you something with this later on that's really good. Whisper of Refraction, defeating slowed or frozen targets grants class ability energy, more class ability gains. Whisper of Rime, this will give you ×8 frost armor. This is a necessity. ×8 frost armor is ridiculous. Whisper of Shards, shattering Stasis crystal, temporarily boost your grenade recharge rate. This is just a crazy fragment. Free grenade recharge rate, basically. And then I've got a couple of Font of Wisdoms on there to boost my super. But Elemental Charge is actually quite a good mod to run, because what this does, it will give you armor charge when you pick up like 2 or 3 Stasis shards. This is why I said Whisper of Conduction is a really good fragment with this build, because you'll notice there, I've got 3 armor charge without needing Sages, which is really good to get your Sage before you go into battle. So basically, just by running Elemental Charge and a couple of Kinetic Siphons on your helmet, like, you don't need to get a double kill to get an orb. With Elemental Charge, all you have to do is pick up a Stasis, like 3 or 4 Stasis shards, and it will give you an armor charge. So that's really good to boost your weapon damage out and get a little stack of frost armor before you actually start damage. I'm going to leave my stats just like so. I think they're pretty much perfect, to be honest, for this build. Now, notice here I've also, again, got ×3 armor charge going on. So it's really good, like I said, with them, with that Elemental Charge, being able to pick that up. And in this clip here, I've got 0, and this is what I'm talking about, 0 Sages or 0 armor charges. Get in there, 3 crystal down. And then before you start doing, you've got your ×1 armor charge for your ×2 kinetic surges. And by the time I've finished, because I'm killing frozen things, I've got a ×3 armor charge. Really, really good. I prefer running that. You'll be not. I found it extremely useful just for getting 3 armor charges basically without needing orbs. And I'm just going to do what I did yesterday with the Bay Elite build. I'm not going to sit and talk to you for like another 2 or 3 minutes. I wanted to show you working in the GM itself. Now again, -50 here. So if we get like another conqueror, like another conquest like Avalon, I think this build will be perfect for something like an Avalon sort of conquest, something that's really, really hard. You can literally just stand there and tank everything, like I said, and still put out quite a lot of damage. It doesn't look like it's loads of damage in here, but guys, honestly, this -50s are a joke. I was running NooLvL Beyond and his Zanagis, and it was hardly doing anything to these champions. Test it out yourself. I'm pretty sure you know this -50 is no joke. And like again, this situation here, you wouldn't be able to just go up there and do that to them champions and bosses. It's just impossible. You would literally get wrecked. But that is the video. I will leave a dim link. I'll leave a bit more footage of the GM playing out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.